thrashing a hind leg, and the problem in this sort of scenario is they obviously don't want him to be touched behind the saddle. There we go, look at that, just enough time to get him to accept the situation, and then he's walked in nice and calmly.
That's where it's shown to be really important, knowing your horses, isn't it, for trainers at home and all the staff that work with them. They would know that he's got that issue. They would know to get the message through, don't touch him behind the saddle, let him do it in his own time, present him to the stalls early, because they obviously don't want him holding up the other horses. Present him early, put him in early, and then load the others up.
Each way money for Nayef Road there at 11-1 from 14s.
Yeah, he's a good each-way bet, I think, Nayef Road, from the Johnson stable. He's often a little bit dismissed. Like, he went all the way up to the Ledger last year after a good win at Goodwood and wasn't able to mix it in the placings that day. But soft underground conditions, an extreme test of stamina, and it's really hard to dismiss him.
Well, the way that he travelled into the Sagara was very, very dominant, wasn't it? I mean, you know, you could be called the winner from some way down. I'm not sure how many Galileos Mark Johnson has trained, but he's certainly getting a fantastic tune out of this one. 300,000 already, win and place prize money.
We are set then for Royal Ascot's signature prize, called by Richard Hoyles.
And the horse with whom that prize currently rests is Stradivarius, looking to win it for the third consecutive time. Chunky Chestnut is last into the stalls. 2.5 miles, so plenty of time for this 8-strong field to find their feet as they leave the stalls. Mekong thinks twice about it and has given them a little bit of a start. About 4 or 5 lengths behind the other runners, who are headed early by Nayef Road and Withhold moving forward as well. Of course, in the White Face and the Cheek Pieces. So they're making their way up the home straight, 5 furlongs, about 1,000 metres, and then they'll head out on their final circuit. Moonlight Spirit races in third place early on. Stradivarius racing in midfield with Prince of Arran. Technician the Grey has decided to follow Stradivarius, racing in 6th place. Cross Counter is settled in 7th. And after that slow beginning, Mekong is last of the 8 runners as they make their way up the home straight then for the first time, with Nayef Road continuing to cut out the running. And they've just about dropped into Indian Fire. Prince of Arran on the outside of Stradivarius, just firing Stradivarius up slightly by looking him in the eye, disputing 4th place. So out in front it is Nayef Road for Ryan Moore, leading Withhold in 2nd place for Jason Watson. 3rd, the White Cap of Godolphin, Will Buick riding Moonlight Spirit. Stradivarius is in 5th place, just behind Prince of Arran. Frankie just adjusting a set of goggles there and dropping onto Prince of Arran's back. In 6th place is Technician, and then the last pair remain Cross Counter in Royal Blue, the green and white of Mekong. So pretty sedate manner up the home straight with a circuit and a furlong to go. And out in front, Nayef Road, ears pricked, leads Withhold by a length, with Moonlight Spirit in 3rd, a length and a half to Prince of Arran. Stradivarius in the black and yellow colours in 5th place. 6th is Technician, a further length away. And the last 2 remain Cross Counter and Mekong, who's now caught up the rest of the field. So they'll begin the turn. They've got around about a mile and 5 furlongs to race from this point. And Nayef Road leading from Withhold as they turn away. Racing in 3rd place, Moonlight Spirit. Prince of Arran is 4th. Stradivarius and Technician settled in 5th and 6th places with Cross Counter and Mekong as they now begin this steady turn. Just about reaching the highest point of the course, and we'll have the run downhill to Swinley Bottom. Turning away from the stands, 1.5 miles to race. Nayef Road leading, but still under restraint by Ryan Moore. Withhold is closed to within 3/4 of a length in 2nd place. Moonlight Spirit is 3rd. Prince of Arran racing in 4th place. Unflustered at the moment, Stradivarius and Technician in 5th and 6th. Cross Counter comes next, just stringing out slightly. Mekong last at the moment would be about 10 lengths behind the leader, who on the descent has just taken a little bit of a grip and has increased the tempo under Ryan Moore. I don't think Ryan wants him to go that fast. You can see he's got his hands close to him, trying to restrain the horse, but the descent is making these fields spread out, particularly as Withhold's still in close attendance and firing up the leader. They've moved off the running rail within 3rd place racing Moonlight Spirit, then Prince of Arran. Stradivarius in 5th place. They'd now be good 10 lengths behind the leader, and then behind these Technician. Cross Counter's been joined at the back by Mekong as now they prepare to take the turn, and they are staying 3 or 4 horsewhips off the rail at the moment, being led by Nayef Road. Withhold in 2nd place, racing 3rd, Moonlight Spirit. Prince of Arran continues to travel in 4th, Stradivarius in 5th, Technician, Mekong and Cross Counter. So we're well past halfway now, climbing towards the final 6.5 furlongs. Nayef Road leads the Gold Cup field. Again, they shun the rail. In 2nd place races Withhold. Little change in the order at the moment. Frankie just asked forcing Stradivarius to get a little closer in 5th place. In 6th place, Technician continues to track the chief market rival. Cross Counter continues to be the back marker. So climbing uphill, Nayef Road, steady sectionals. From in second, Withhold in 2nd place, within 3rd, Moonlight Spirit. Stradivarius angling out underneath Prince of Arran. Technician for the first time, Oisin Murphy just changes his hands and asks the horse to improve as they all rather jockey for position here. As still Nayef Road and Withhold lead the field, and now the bend begins. In 3rd place, Moonlight Spirit. Stradivarius sidling up to them in 4th place. Technicians under pressure. Mekong has made ground. Cross Counter comes off the bridle. Frankie looks for Technician. Maybe he feels he's got those in front covered. At the moment, Technician's hard at work, and Stradivarius looms large on the outside of Nayef Road. Withhold then towards the inside, Moonlight Spirit, and there's a break back to the others. Stradivarius and Frankie Dettori poised on the outside of Nayef Road. They're all weary in behind. Stradivarius now asked to go and take Nayef Road, and he moves to the front in the Gold Cup, and it's over in a twinkling. Stradivarius' solo performance is pulling right away. Nayef Road, Cross Counter for places, but really they don't matter. Stradivarius, one of the greatest stayers in the modern era, a pat down the neck, lands his 3rd Gold Cup. Stradivarius, pulsating for Frankie Dettori and John Gosden, routed them. Nayef Road ran well, was clear of Cross Counter, who was a good dozen lengths behind the winner. Withhold then behind those Mekong and Prince of Arran. A virtuoso solo performance. Stradivarius, 3 for Frankie, cruised up to the leaders. The ground, no problem. The coltishness, no problem. A class stayer in the hoof. Prince of Yates and Sagaro wins the Gold Cup. His most impressive of all, his 3rd.
That was magic. A staying great is now a staying immortal. Johnny Murtagh, how good was that?
Listen, as I said, I didn't think any horse would do what Yates was able to do. This lad just might do it. He's got that, you never get to the bottom of him. He's got a great temperament. He relaxed so well in the race. Frankie had a beautiful position, and he changed his hands turning in, and I'd say it just came alive in his hands. He looked around. They were all cooked behind. He knew the ones in front were the ones to beat, but when he let him go, Ed, listen, forget about the ground. This thing about the ground is a bit of a myth, Ed. He goes on the ground. He went in last year. He went in October. He probably didn't enjoy the good to firm ground in Newmarket like last week. He loved it here today. And when Frankie let him go, it was an absolutely brilliant performance from a brilliant horse who's trained brilliantly. And that last run in Newmarket just left him spot on today for this. Well done, John Gosden, Frankie Dettori, and the champion that is Stradivarius.
First, Johnny, and the rest nowhere. He's put a huge amount of daylight between himself and the rest of the field. So, yes, we doff our hats to Stradivarius and John Gosden. Easy ride for Frankie Dettori. They're the ones you really like. The Group 1's easy victory. What about later on in the season when he matches up with Kew Gardens? That's what we can look forward to.
Oh, well, listen, that was the big match-up. It didn't happen here in Ascot, but I'm sure it will happen later on in the year, and that's one that, all racing fans will be really looking forward to. Can he get his revenge on Kew Gardens? That's going to be exciting, Jason.
And Johnny, we were talking earlier in the programme at the beginning of the day with Bruff Scott, who said that to be a champion, you've really got to do it on all surfaces, in all conditions. And has he proven today that soft ground, firm ground, different distances, it's all the same to him? He is a star.
Yeah, the champions are able to pull it out of the bag, Francesca. They're always able to come up. They're always able to, to have the answer. When everything is not in their favour, they always pull it out of the bag. And this lad, he's done it all. He's done it all. 1.6 miles, 2 mile, 2.5 mile. And it's very hard to explain to people. 2.5 mile at Ascot is very demanding. You have to be there. You have to have done it. You have to have the T-shirt. And he just showed them all today. He had them spread out like Brown's cows in the last furlong.
Johnny, how hard for Dettori not to let him off the latch, as he was coming up, cantering up behind Nayef Road, trying to conserve that petrol just for the final kick.
Well, he knows him now, you know what I mean? He knows him now, and he went a bit soon on a few of them there during the week, so I'm sure he learned by his mistakes. He wasn't going to let this lad go too far. Jason. My granny would have won them. He won by 10 lengths. All you do is sit behind, turn into the straight, get to the furlong and a half and a kick in the belly. They're the ones you love to be riding, those group ones that can do that.
Johnny, stay there. We're going to lap this up. There's only about 100 people here, but we've got the showman in full action. 3 gold cups for Stradivarius. Well done, Frankie! You just have to love a champion. That was stunningly good from Stradivarius, a serial winner that Johnny Murtagh described as an absolute certainty. And as we see the result, Johnny, just describe that feeling, keep the language clean, Murtagh, of when you come there in a big race like that, absolutely swinging.
I was nothing like it, Ed. You know, like as I said, Frankie, you think, oh, it's an even money shot, sure, it's easy. Beforehand, last night, you'd have gone through that race hundreds of times. What can go wrong? And you think sometimes more what can go wrong than thinking of, listen, I'm riding a certainty. I just have to come in a good position, produce him at the furlong and a half pole, and he's going to win. So you have to go through all that. So it's like a huge relief when you arrive there at the furlong and a half with all that horse underneath you. You just get lower in the saddle, you give him a squeeze. And those great horses, it's unbelievable the turn of foot they have. The power that's underneath you, that when you let them go, they just accelerate off into the distance.
And Johnny, given the winning margin, you could argue that this is his most impressive win of the 3 of his Gold Cups. He's 6 years old now. He was defeated last start, albeit over a wrong distance. He was defeated by Kew Gardens at the end of last year. But does this now show us that he's potentially getting better at 6?
Well, he's probably every bit as good. You know, the field, it's a bit like yesterday against Batash. You're looking for young pretenders to improve and to catch them. But these old seasoned sprinters, stayers, they've been in the battle many times. They're able for it. They just get better. John Gosden probably knows them better than anybody. The lad looking after him, the lad's riding him out. And I just got the impression by John Gosden that he was very, very happy with this horse after the run in Newmarket.
Thanks for joining us, Johnny from Ireland. I hope you enjoyed that like people at home.
Have a good, enjoy the rest of the week.
Cheers, Johnny. That was a bit special. And Frankie just said as he weighed in, he's never come to a furlong out in a Gold Cup on the bridle. That horse is very, very special. Stradivarius has won a 3rd Gold Cup. This is all about him. No offence to Frankie. And what a time to remember another Gold Cup hero as well.